This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The Trippers, the Grasshoppers, the Hip Ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Got some listeners shoving on right now in Kansas City at 98.9, The Rock, Kansas City's rock station. Also, good morning, Anchorage, 94.7, KZND, Alaska's rock alternative. And to our listeners at 97.9, CPR rocking in Biloxi, Mississippi. Welcome to the program. Big show for you today, the return of Who Sucks Less. The word proves that we all can't spell worth a damn, as we have a list of the most misspelled words in each and every state. And our question today, if your car could talk, what story would it tell? 844-999-OLA.
A couple of comments that came in. It says, my car would say, stop singing, your voice sucks. I respect that. The other one says, mine would ask why I continue to drive if it makes me so angry.
At
that point, your car becomes your therapist. Hey, man, you keep driving me. Keep saying,
there's a lot of aggravation, I think, when I drive.
From everybody, though. Everybody's pissed off.
Exactly. It's just, I don't know. For whatever reason, I'm not built for it. I just, it gets to the point, I'm like, you idiot. I'm cussing at everybody.
Everybody, man. Like, my thing, when I was growing up, my dad,
You're a bit of an aggressive driver.
Right, exactly.
My father's a very aggressive driver.
I feel safe with
He
it.
does not believe that. But he's exceptionally safe, but drives aggressive. He wants to get where he's going. So when I'm growing up, black guy going through the 60s, everyone who made him mad, he's like, that turkey cut me up. Right, turkey. Turkey. Every day, that turkey, if he was mad at someone, that guy was a turkey. Turned about 13, 14 years old. Same scenario, same road. Someone cuts off. That turkey graduated to a mother effer.
Oh, really?
Like, he was just waiting for me to be a teen.
Next thing you know, he's in bed with your mom.
Oh, yeah, man. Things change.
Yeah, my pops is crazy with it.
What, with just the
screaming people?
Oh, really?
Yeah, everything else.
Yeah, I have a couple people that I don't get in verbal altercations with people, but
in the car,
I'll never forget, man. I laundryless terms, and when I did drive, this was a long time ago, back in Baltimore. My kids were younger; they were like 3 or 4. They were old enough to know the words.
Yeah.
But I mean, something happened. Somebody almost cut me off, and I just laundry listed just every single cuss word known to man. I mean, just in seconds. And I look in the rearview mirror, and they're both just standing there. And my one daughter's sitting there. My one daughter's got her hand over her mouth, like, "Oh my God!" Yeah, right, and my other one's just got this big O-ring, like, "Oh." I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Like, I don't even know, because it was C.
You told me you came in and you said, "Man, I had the kids this weekend, man. I forgot they're in the car." So you're telling me at work like that Monday, and it's like, listen, guy cuts me off, and it was. You began with mother effing C sucking, and
it was a tirade,
right? But and to me, look, of all the things with
licking,
kids,
licking.
It's so. You said then you look in the rearview mirror. You said the one kid
D lips.
The whole thing, man. It looks like the Home Alone poster. I'm like, whoa!
It's like,
sorry.
Now they know. Oh well. If your car could talk, what story would it tell? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Brian.
There was one thing that continually was sucked. You know what I mean? And that's that was the one thing that I did not want.
That's the one that sucks, dude. Right, like, exactly. Look, my kid wants to see what's his name, Deadpool. And it's not it's nothing. I don't even care about the mother effer, because Daddy's probably going to say that. But man, I'm telling you, there's something about the C sucker. I'm like, bro, you know what, man? You gotta wait. And I'd love to tell you the word, but I can't tell you right now. But you gotta wait before we deal with that one. Hello, Brian. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
Hey, if my car could tell me something, it would probably be to slow down. It was senior year, coming home from my girlfriend's house, kind of high, and I was speeding down my road, probably going 60 into 30, and all of a sudden I see this cop down the road, and he is outside of his car, and I speed right by him. He looks at me right in the eyes and gets in his car, and don't know what to do at the time. And I make a turn into a gas station, slam behind the building, and I see him race down the road with his lights on. And I'm sitting there, like panicking a little bit, and I'm still buzzing a little bit. And I put the car in a drive, but I turned the keys off so it wouldn't move, and I thought I was stuck there. And I start panicking hardcore, and I eventually get the car started. I realized I was an idiot at the time, and I'm weaving through all the neighborhood streets around me because I'm all scared, and I'm calling my girlfriend, and I called my parents.
Jeez, man, don't call the parents.
Don't call anybody.
That's where I went wrong.
Right, that's what we're saying. Don't call anybody. Don't do that.
I know.
What people don't know, they won't find out unless you tell them.
Exactly.
And if someone else tells them, then you can deal with that then. But if you tell them, then you kind of already screwed yourself.
Especially the parents, man.
Right. Don't tell them anything.
Yeah,
If you are not dying, do not call your parents for crap like
If they
this.
ask,
Right.
then you go, all right, well, you make that determination, what you want to tell them. Ideally, sometimes the truth is the easiest way out, but don't volunteer the information. That's what I try to volunteer to my kids all the time. Volunteer, do something good. Go help somebody out. Don't volunteer your stupidity to me.
Right.
In the form of just bad information that you shouldn't have talked about.
Ignorance is bliss.
Right. I don't know. How would I
Don't you
know
like that they're honest with you?
We love that they're honest with
Yes.
us, but Ted, you also want them to have a certain amount of deception.
Right.
A certain amount of deception says at least they're giving thought to things. They understand the ramifications. When you keep telling me the truth, but the truth is always stupid, then you go, my kid's an idiot.
Yeah.
So you want them to be honest with you, but if the only thing they're sharing with you is another bad decision, you're like, Jesus Christ, at least if you were smart, you would try to hide it like a normal kid.
The show ran late. No, the show did not run
Right.
late. I've been to that venue 9 million times, man. They cut it off at a certain time. They're not going to play till 1:30.
Right. That's exactly.
Wait a minute. So that's a lie. You said you wanted them to lie.
No, I didn't say it. Don't tell me. I didn't ask. Sorry, you got home. I was asleep. You didn't have to tell me what time you got home because the
It
show
doesn't
ran
matter.
late.
It doesn't
That wouldn't matter to me. I was in bed.
Why would you tell me?
I just think wait till somebody else tells it.
Yeah.
To explain it's
Right.
a bad way to go.
Hey,
through stuff.
All right, so I wake up. You wake me up at 2:00 in the morning to tell me.
No.
The reason I'm late, and I'm already thinking, wouldn't have known. But you're telling
Right.
me this, and then you tell me that you did something stupid. Like, hey, man, it's not about lying to me, but I don't need to know that.
Right.
And
In other
chances
words-
are,
in other words,
why? But
how
that's
was
right
the,
now, when your kid does that, you're like, come on, man.
How was the show? That was the question. How was the show? Oh, it's great, but he got on late, so that's why I didn't get home to 1:45. No, just it was good. Next time, how was the show? Show was great. Oh, cool. Glad you had a fun time.
I'm telling you, man. And I mess with my, and I
Too
do
much
this on
information.
purpose, where you go, hey, like they're in trouble for something. You go, hey, come here. Do you know why I need to talk to you? And the first couple of times, they'd rattle off like 3 times. And I'm like, I knew nothing about that. And now you're going to get in trouble for that too, but let me get to my point. But now I keep doing it, and I realize when I ask, and I want them to get at least this smart, when I go, hey, do you know why I need to talk to you?
About what?
It gets measured for a second. You see them search their brain. So they're going through the 4 things it could be, and then they're smart enough, you're right, to say, no. And then you bring up whatever it is, and you can see them go through the brain, pull that out of the list of bad things, and off we go. I don't need to know the other stuff. No one brought it to my attention. It wasn't that bad.
If your car could talk, what story would it tell? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, God damn it. Hello, Carson. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right. So I have a story about my car, and if it could talk about me, it'd say some pretty nasty things for certain.
Such as? He's the son of a bitch.
Probably things I shouldn't say on the radio. Anyway, story starts out, I'm on my way to a blind date.
Uh-oh.
And it is the middle of August. It's one of those weeks where it's 80 degrees the whole week through. I've just recharged the AC on my car, so I've got that cranked up to max.
Of course.
I'm driving through. I run into traffic. I start, slowing down, stop and go stuff. My car dies. I'm in the middle of basically a highway in stop and go traffic with a dead car on the road.
That's not good.
No. So it had had some issues with overheating a few times before, and I devised a little bit of a makeshift trick to get it going again. So I'm out there, and I pop my air filter off, and I kind of spray some starting fluid, jerry a couple of things around, and
Who is this Jerry that shortcutted everyone?
Jerry. Sure. I don't even trust a mechanic named Jerry. It's like, it works for now.
Who is this Jerry rigging guy?
Right.
So anyway, I get it started, and it runs for a couple seconds and it dies again. So I spray a little more starting fluid. Probably a bad choice, but I go to start it up again. Car backfires through the air filter and catches it on fire right there on the highway.
Yep.
Looking good.
Coche and Fuego. What kind of car was it?
It was a 94 Dodge Intrepid.
It had done its time.
Oh.
Yeah, this was only about 2 years ago, so it's not, it wasn't the best car.
So basically, I picture it like being on the cover of the Rage Against the Machine's debut.
Yeah, this is not an old car.
It took its own life.
Yeah,
like, dude,
said.
I am done with you.
That's what's happened to my Volkswagen Golf GT. It just went, yeah, boom, and just blew the hell up like quickly.
But you weren't going on a blind date.
Oh, it was amazing. It was spectacular. No, I was in the middle of goddamn nowhere.
Hey, let me ask you something. Did you ever get a chance to meet the chick you were supposed to meet that night?
I actually did.
How'd it go?
Well, so after I batted the air filter out of the car and got the fire out, a couple of guys from the car parts store I was directly in front of helped me push my car off the road. And I gave her a call and told her what had happened. And I was only about a block away from where we were going to meet up. So she just came over, picked me up, and we went on the date.
Nice. Did you get laid?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, are you still with her?
No.
Yeah.
All down. I couldn't do it anymore.
She didn't find him attractive, but keep in mind she's blind. If your car could talk, what story would it tell? 844-999-OLA. We've got more of your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Coming up, the return of Who Sucks Less in the Word proves that we all can spell. Our question today, if your car could talk, what story would it tell? A statue of Jesus Christ was the only thing standing between an out-of-control truck and a potentially serious collision, according to police. Monday afternoon, a junk removal truck was driving through Hamilton when it allegedly failed to stop at a red light. According to Hamilton police, the driver was unable to stop the truck and intentionally drove it off the road to try to avoid causing a collision. Once off the road, the vehicle hit a bench with a statue on it and came to a stop. Had the truck not hit the bench, police say its path would have taken it onto busy King Street, where it would have likely hit pedestrians and other vehicles. The statue is Homeless Jesus. It was a sculpture designed by Timothy Schmaltz of St. Jacobs. It depicts a life-size Jesus asleep on a bench under a blanket. Well, I mean, if you're going to, if you're Jewish, you might as well, do a statue of the King of the Jews, right? Surely. So it's him asleep on a bench underneath a blanket. Now, the design was inspired with an encounter that Schmaltz had with a man experiencing homelessness in Toronto. Now, Schmaltz first went to churches to see if anyone would be interested in installing his sculptures. Right. So he went to all these different places, and he went to all the churches, and they said, no, we don't want homeless Jesus on a blanket installed at our church. And then he went to Vatican City in 2013, where one of his pieces he was being honored was blessed by the Pope Francis. Guess which one it was? It was the statue of homeless Jesus on a bench. So now he's had that statue done about...
The statue went...
Oh, it was blessed by the Pope.
Vatican. It got blessed by the Pope. Right? Nobody wanted it. Mm-hmm. Then the Pope blessed... And you'll never get... Suddenly, they're like, that's a beautiful statue.
Oh, that's going to be... So several churches around the world have now the Vatican says it's okay for homeless Jesus? Yeah. Okay, we want it. And he'll get sometimes, okay, maybe for you, but the people that kind of shut him down, no, go to hell. No, I'm not doing that. So our question, if your car could talk, what story would it tell? This guy's car ran into homeless Jesus. 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Bryson. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola!
Hola!
So, my car, if it could talk, would probably say, just kill me already.
Jesus. Okay. Why would it say that?
So, recently, my wife has decided to continually...
Are we on speakerphone, man? We're having a very hard time hearing
I can barely hear you, man.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me step outside real quick. And I can take
We got
that
time.
Yeah, whatever you need to do, man.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go. Welcome to the program. Hello, hola.
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 So, my wife and I recently bought a car, and so she keeps plowing it into the pole outside the house that's in our parking space, to the point where the passenger side of the car is almost unrecognizable.
So she keeps dragging it on the side of this. What kind of car is it?
It's a Mitsubishi Mirage.
Is she blind? Does she have a vision problem, a depth perception problem?
No, but she's only been driving for about 2 years since she moved from Korea.
Okay, so she just can't drive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's safe. That makes complete sense.
Well, thank God you got that.
You know what? That's why I commercially pilot an airline every weekend, even though I'm not really a pilot. What the hell? It seems like good fun. The passengers don't seem to care. We get there safely.
How bad? So the passenger side of your car, completely unrecognizable.
Oh, pretty much.
And she scraped all the paint
Headlights
off. Is it
balled out
dented?
and everything.
Damn, man.
Oh, boy.
Listen, is it a used car or did you buy this thing new?
Oh, we bought it new.
Dude, come on. I mean, listen, you just got to buy a used car until she can do better, right? It just hurts less. You know, you buy a new car, I'm the first owner. This is the car I wanted.
How often does she drive?
Oh, every day.
Are you worried about her? Are you worried about her health, her safety, just in general? Is there any concern?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you never say like, "Hey, I'll get up early and maybe I'll drop you off, and then I can pick you up after work."
Oh, I work before she gets up, and I come home after she gets home. So,
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So how many times have you been a passenger while she's driving?
all the time. I'm usually the one saying, "Hey, don't cut that person off."
All right.
Well, why is she doing all the driving if it's that terrifying? I mean, can you just like switch?
Do you have a life insurance policy?
Oh, yes.
Yes, okay, good. All right, get one. As much money as you can. And it might be problematic when the prosecution plays this back in court. But, yeah, I would spend like $500,000.
No, this is the admission of no fault of my own.
Just get it.
I am telling you.
I'm dead serious. Get life insurance. Because if somebody is going to take risky behavior, you got to profit from it if they're not around.
Let me ask you this. Who would be the worst driver? Would it be, all right, so we've been at the bar. Would it be better if your drunk ass grabbed the keys or her sober?
Ooh, that's a good question.
No, see, it should never be a good question. If you driving drunk is you can't tell if that's better than her driving sober, man. That's
It depends on how drunk you are. If you're like, I could drive home, then maybe, yeah. If it's like, oh, I'm blackout drunk, give the keys.
So
How
she
many
drives
how many
as well
wheel?
as someone who's cognizant of driving in spite of the fact that they're drunk. She drives like a drunk driver.
How many times did it take her to pass her driving test?
Oh, she just came here and just got her license. They just paid $85 in Washington State, gave her license.
So she didn't have to retest when she came from Korea.
No, because she had an international driving license.
All right. Okay.
Oh,
all right.
All right.
Well, I guess to drive international is not hard.
No, it's not. No, apparently it isn't. And there's no polls internationally. You don't hit one.
I mean, from everything I've seen, and I guess it depends where you live in Korea. If you live in rural Korea, probably not the case. But when you watch videos of like these major cities, like they show Seoul, I would think if you could drive, walk, ride a bike, ride a scooter, anything in Seoul from the traffic, you'd be fine to drive anywhere. So I'm guessing maybe she's not from Seoul.
I don't know. I have no idea. I would really get a really big fat life insurance policy.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can see it. If you can see it happen, man. You can.
Maybe it's just that pole.
You can be sad with millions.
I can pick a curb downtown that people run over all the time.
But with the same people, of the people you know, do you think the same people will continue to do it once they're aware that this curb's a little weird, right?
Well, no. I'm
Okay,
just trying to be on her
different.
side.
You need a little rubbing compound depending on. Yeah, I mean, depending on the person you're with and their driving skills, it probably is a good idea to. Like, man, I typically don't destroy a car. Like, I might do some dumb things, like the time I drugged the entire roof of that car underneath the parking garage. But
I helped you with that one.
Yeah, but other than that, like, for the most part,
You got it.
You got it.
Here's what I knew for a fact.
Actually, I take that
no
back.
one would ever
What I
look at
said
the
was,
roof.
don't worry, I know I got to fix it. Then the next day at work, he's like, who's going to fix it? I was like, I don't know.
I won't tell you
just
what
was
happened.
trying to help.
I won't tell you what happened when that car had to be turned in. They were like, "What happened to the roof of the car?" We're like, "I don't know what happened to the roof of the car." I went up there and looked like, "Holy cow! What happened to the roof of the car?" The guy was like, "What do you think caused this?" I'm like, "Who the hell knows? Acid rain?"
Yeah, acid rain.
I don't know. It looks kind of like scrape though, doesn't it?
No, does not look
doesn't?
scraped.
Oh, maybe acid rain. If car could talk, what story would it tell? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Sean. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, yeah, if my car could talk, it would be my dad's old pickup truck. It would tell the funniest story ever.
All right,
So,
this better be funny.
Well, when I was in high school in Southern California in 1989, it was tradition to kind of decorate the high school for the first day. You know, everyone coming to campus are going to see, what the seniors do this year. So my buddies and I decided to go steal the big boy. You know, the Bob's Big Boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no way.
All right.
How much does that? How much did that weigh?
It's hollow fiberglass. So it
all right, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. So my sister was a hostess at the restaurant, and as soon as she closed the place up, she gave us the green light, and me and a couple of my football buddies got in the back of my dad's pickup truck, and we had some bolt cutters, cut the padlock off it, threw it in the back, and driving down the road heading to the high school, I got pulled over by a motorcycle officer. And he shines his flashlight. He comes up. He just sees what's going on, and then he looks at me and he says, "I'm not even going to ask." And he got back on his bike and took off. And we think we're home free at this point. So we got it. We got the big boy on campus. We got it all set up where we wanted. We're high-fiving each other. And what he really did was radioed ahead, and they had the whole place surrounded.
Oh, really? So I guess the big. No, I got to ask. In Southern California, what was Big Boy called?
It was just Bob's.
It was Bob's Big Boy.
Big Boy.
Okay,
most of them were Bob's, but you get to different areas.
There'd be LB's, there was Shoney's, there were a number of different.
Some places called it JB's too.
But wait, was
like 20 of
Shoney's
them.
Big Boy? I thought Shoney's was just Shoney's.
Oh no, man!
Shoney's had a bear, but I think they were all the same. Like,
no, they had a Big Boy.
Shoney's had a Big Boy.
We're not going back there.
I remember
Yes,
Bob's.
we are, man.
Listen,
I'm telling
man.
you, Big Boy was. I'm telling you, Big Boy changed.
Shoney has a bear.
This is Big Dog chains. Like
That no, that.
Big Boy restaurant.
We need to know. We keep going down this road. I remember
All right,
Bob's, but there were a few different ones. All right, give me some Big Boy.
Let's see here. Variations.
All right.
Oh boy, we had all kinds of Big Boys. The Big Boy hamburger.
What are some of the Big Boys?
I'm just trying to find out the different types of franchises involved. Okay, so we have
here we go.
roster of name franchises. We have Bob's.
Yeah.
Oh God. Azar's. Becker's,
Big Boy.
Eaton Park, LB's, Elias, Franklin's, Frisch's, JB's, Caboose, Kin's, Kip's, Lindy's, Leo's, Manners, Mark's, McDowell's, Mr. B's, Shap's, Shoney's, Ted's,
Mr.
TJ's,
B's.
Tops, Totes, Tunes, Vips, and Yoda's.
Yoda's
Big Boy. Hamburger good today.
Burger you eat. Let's see.
I present to you the Shoney's bear.
Oh, the Shoney's Bear.
The bear.
Wow.
They were pretty much the same.
So it tells you, LB's was in northern West Virginia, Pennsylvania, eastern Ohio. Eaton Park was in Pittsburgh, and now that's pretty well just Eaton Park. Eaton Park's pretty good.
But no Sherry's. Or is there Sherry's?
Bud's was in, well, Sherry's is pretty close to that, but it's not I love Sherry's. Bob's is, Bud's is Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho, and Bob's is California, Arizona, and Nevada. There you go.
Sherry had no Big Boy.
No. Okay. If your car could talk, what story would it tell? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Ty. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi, how are you?
Hola.
So, if my truck could talk, it would just shake me around, slap me in the face, and say, "Just let me die already."
And why would it say this, and why won't you let it? That seems like reasonable questions.
Well, because I was a stupid 19-year-old when I bought it. I just got my CDL, just got my first job at driving truck, and I had some disposable income. So I was looking around Craigslist, and I found this 71 Ford F100 with the 390 V8 big block. And I'm like, oh, God, yes. But as soon as I buy it, I drive it around for a week, and then the motor nukes itself.
It does. And that was the reason that you bought it?
No. Well, the reason why I bought it was because it was a cool-looking truck and it ran.
Okay.
And I didn't know how cool it was driving at the time.
So did you get rid of it after the engine blew up?
No. God, no. What happened was that I was like, well, I still have some cash, I can rebuild it. So $4,000 later, I had the motor rebuilt and the transmission serviced. And then I thought it was good for a while, and then I had to have the U-joints replaced. And then a little while after that, the, the oil seals on the rear differential blew out. And so I had to have it towed into the shop.
Well, how much money did you put into this truck, do you think?
All in, I believe, around $13,000.
How much was that truck new? $2,000?
When you bought it?
No, like brand new in 1971. Like how much did that?
It was $3,500.
$3,500. Okay. I was gonna say, what's the retail?
Yeah. I paid $3,500 for honestly $1,000 truck.
And do you still have this? Do you still have the truck?
Yes, I still have the truck. I was actually just crawling under it this morning trying to figure out why it wasn't running now, which I figured out it was the fuel pump that went bad.
So, and that's why.
Why wouldn't you let it die? You know what I mean? Like, people argue for assisted suicide. We say, no, keep him alive, right? Your truck clearly wants to be dead. You are just hanging. You're that person who has the 37-year-old cat and keeps taking it to the vet, even though the cat, you know what I mean? You're like, let it go, man.
You can't even take the truck longer than 20 miles for risk that something is going to go horribly wrong and you have to tow it back. So, like, what is the point of having it?
Honestly, I was using it as a daily driver when I was living in Yakima, and it was a great rig. But as soon as I moved back over here last year and had the shotgun wedding, because my mom said, okay, now you're in the union, you have to get a better car, and ended up with a 2014 Subaru Outback. The truck ended up sitting, and when it sat,
it died.
More things are going wrong with it.
Wow. She was a hospice at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
As I say, it's like a person.
Yeah, pretty much.
It did what it could. You finally let it relax, and it's like, just let me die.
There was a period of time, though, man. If you had a car and it was a piece of crap when I was growing up, and most cars were breaking down all the time, but you could actually get in there and you could do stuff, and it just depended on whether you had metric tools or regular tools or whatever you needed to get in there. But most people did work on their car every weekend doing something. And I remember when I got a reliable car for the first time in my life, it was after my Volkswagen blew up. My Volkswagen, great car, very quick, and I loved it. But, I mean, it was nonstop problems. Like, I never had a Volkswagen that I wasn't constantly trying to work on.
One thing I do remember from
Toyota,
childhood,
Jesus, man.
and I think I'm about to see the con that was going on. Your people could work on the car, and if it was the car that, say, your father or your mother used daily to go to work, they would work on it because it was important that it worked. All right, and then there always seemed to be that second or third vehicle that they had been working on for as long as you can remember, but it never actually been on the road. And the truth of that vehicle was their goal was never to finish this. But the one thing a parent could do on the weekend to get away from the kids and ensure that no one's going to bug you and
go
you
to the
can
garage,
drink beer all day with your buddies, go to the garage, quote unquote, work on this car that has never gotten closer to being fixed. Basically, it was your excuse to drink all weekend long with your buddies.
There's a dude in my neighborhood that does it on his own.
Right.
He has an old Pontiac, I don't know what it is, kind of a muscle car, right? And there's not like a lot of garages, right? But there's a house, like an old school house that has a small garage. So I was like, do you live in, the house doesn't look lived in. He's like, no, I just rent the garage. And he's like, it's an old car. I can put my hands in it and work on it. So he's like, I just sit out here. I work weird hours and that's what I do. But it doesn't look, it looks beautiful. I don't know that he ever drives it.
That's not his goal.
Yeah.
You want to get away from it all.
If your car could talk, what story would it tell? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Richmond. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola.
Okay, let me set the scene for you. It's 1998. I live in Flint, Michigan, and I drive about an hour to work and an hour home. Work the graveyard shift, and after work, a buddy of mine, we would go to the 24-hour liquor store. We'd each buy 2 beers. One
you
for
are
the
painting
parking lot,
a beautiful picture of Flint.
Probably a big old Stroh's, wasn't it?
No, it was actually Pabst at the time.
All right.
But anyway, so we drank our beer, in the parking lot. On the way home, I'm driving, and I pass a cop in the median strip of the freeway, and there's not too many other cars on the road this time of the morning. And so I finish the beer, and I want to get rid of the bottle just in case the cop pulls up behind me, so I press the button to roll down the passenger side window. I rolled down the passenger side window, but the rear passenger side window, and when I threw the bottle, it smashed into the front passenger side window, busted the window completely out of my car.
Oh, no way.
And so I had to go home and explain to my wife, not only one, why the window was broken, and number 2, why I was shrieking while driving.
Right. Man, oh man. Yeah. That's
my car story right there.
Right. What kind of car was it?
It was a Ford Taurus.
That's a good highway driver if you're going to drive an hour each way.
It was a great car. I loved it. It was my first car, actually, I ever owned.
And you got a great arm to bust out your window with the bottle.
They were reliable, too, man. They were like just a big old
Yeah, they were great cars.
Yep.
Not
anyway,
great
that's
window.
my story, guys.
Yeah,
keep rocking.
Hey,
right
thanks,
on,
brother.
man.
Yeah. If your car could talk, what story would it tell? We've got more of your calls coming up. 844-999-OLA. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
A British Columbia driver and her son are speaking out after they said they were hit with flying poop from a passing plane while sitting in their car. You could not make this stuff up. As a matter of fact, where this happened, I was at last year. It is a town called Kelowna, which is very close to Summerland, where I happened to spend the night on my way up. I was going up to British Columbia. I know this area fairly decently. On May 9th, Susan Allen and her son were stopped at a red light at Spall Road. While we were sitting there with our sunroof open, our car was inundated with liquid poo falling from the sky. Quote, I had it on my face, down my shirt, my entire car, and the vehicle beside us were all covered in it. We saw the airplane flying over. We watched the stuff as it fell from the sky. Alan's son Travis, who was also in the car, said he felt a cold sensation hit the side of his face and shoulder out of nowhere. Then the smell hit my nose. I almost vomited instantly. It was terrible. Alan said she then started to cry. It smelled so bad that my stomach got ill. Alan said that she and her son were gagging as they headed straight for the nearest car wash where they sprayed off both the car and themselves. The next day, Alan also had to go to the doctor because of a problem with her eye. My eye was the size of a golf ball. It had swollen red. Alan admits she was initially reluctant to share her story. I didn't want to tell people that I was pooped on. But now, Alan said she's come forward because authorities didn't appear to be very sympathetic to her situation. No one's really done anything. They just keep saying, well, you have to wait and see. My car, it was inundated with poop. I would like them to clean my car out. An apology would be nice. I do believe they owe me some compensation for my eye. It was disgusting. You don't want this ever to happen to you.
Of course we don't.
The Kelowna International Airport said it received a complaint about the incident. They have an international airport in this little town. It's quite amazing. As part of our review, we understand that there were no aircraft in the vicinity at the time. Transport Canada said it is investigating the incident. Our question, if your car could talk, what story would it tell? 844-999-OLA.
There were no aircraft at the time. I mean, if your car got pooped on, I feel like you have absolute proof, right? You just drive it like, look at my car. Where else could this have come from? Hello, Alex. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So I've got an old 1994 Toyota Corolla is what I used to have back in the day, and it got passed around quite a bit. Started out, a buddy of mine owned it. He sold it to another friend, and then that friend sold it to my brother. My brother back to that friend, and by the time I got it, it was $250. So the very first guy that bought it, my buddy Eric, he had that car and decided to take a trip down to Mexico and do some mission work. And he was down that way. He decided to go exploring, and he, as the story goes, he said that he was up about 15 to 20 miles up on some gravel road in the mountains. There was nobody around, and all of a sudden the car shut off on him. And he had no idea what it could be. Thought he was going to be stranded forever. It ended up being a timing belt snapped on him.
What did you sell it? What did you sell the car for initially the first time around?
What did I sell the car for?
Yeah, for the first time.
It was Eric that sold the car the first time, and I'm not sure what he sold it for. I think he probably sold it for $1,000.
All right, so you got for the price anyway.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.